special episode of On Point with Tim Murphy. I'm Tim Murphy, and I'm visiting with the Bradford family. We're having a great time in your backyard here. Thanks for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you.
So we got Doug's yard. Thank you. So let me introduce my guest. This is Doug Bradford, and this is his brother Ken Bradford, and this is Doug's daughter, Cindy Bradford Hatt.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
So the story is, I'm here because the family is having a huge art show. And when I say the family, I mean like 30 of them at Mockingbird Farm. But we're here today to talk about just the legend of the Bradford family. Because there's too much. We couldn't just do 10 minutes on the Bradfords. You got to spend your time. Take us back to your grandfather came over from England.
Yes, my grandfather. Walter Bradford.
Walter.
Yeah, came from England and was raised in Belleville, Ontario.
Okay.
And he used to sing. And I never heard him sing, but he used to sing, and he ended up in the Sault as part of a barbershop quartet.
And this is turn of the century we're talking.
Right at 1900, he arrived in the Sault with a barbershop quartet. And he stayed. The others went on.
You mean he actually arrived here as part of a barbershop quartet? I thought you meant like he sort of came here, moved here, and joined a barbershop quartet.
No, he just happened to be here and decided to stay here.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Was he a peculiar guy or what?
He was.
Do you remember him?
Very peculiar. I'll never forget him.
You say he was a character around town?
Yeah, he was a character. Do you want me to say a few things?
Sure, go ahead. Tell me the story of Walter.
Of Walter. He became one of the city characters, you know. He was a wonderful Catholic religious man.
Mm-hmm.
He was dressed tall. He was very tall. Mm-hmm. I'm short, take after my grandmother. But my grandfather was very tall. He wore a black bowler hat, black straight down, high buckle shoes, you know, and he looked like an undertaker. and he opened a pool room.
Oh, he opened a billiard parlor.
A billiard parlor. It was called Walter Bradford Tobacconist and Billiard Parlor.
Tobacconist.
Was it on Gore Street?
It was on Gore Street, just up from the.
It was on Queen.
No, it was on. Sorry, round from Gore.
Oh, Queen, just before Gore.
Just before Gore.
Across from Ernie's coffee shop area, right?
Right on.
Yeah,
okay.
Right on. You're good.
The Royal Hotel. When did the Royal Hotel go up? That was
just up from that.
Okay.
Two or three up from that. But
Right
he was
on.
there 44 years.
He ran that billiard parlor
For
for
44 years, yeah. And he became the character of the city. Like if you, he was wonderful. He never smoked, and he owned a.
He was a tobacconist who never smoked.
Who never smoked. He owned a billiard parlor, and he never played billiards. He went to church a lot, and if you swore in the billiard parlor, you were gone, never to be seen ever again in that billiard parlor.
And he also thought you should always finish your meal. You mentioned that, didn't you? What did you say?
Oh, it should be whipped if he didn't finish his lunch.
If you went, did he serve food in the billiard parlor?
No, they'd bring it in.
They'd bring their food in.
Bring it in.
You should be whipped if you don't finish your meal.
He had spittoons on the floor.
Horsewhip.
Wow.
Horsewhipped. Oh.
Yeah. And there was spittoons on the floor around these huge tables.
Neat.
You know?
Who's coming out? Is there another Bradford in the house? Come on out.
She just looked out the door, my wife.
Okay.
To come out of the woodwork.
So, and
so
you said when he passed away in the 70s, he
he was in the mid 60s, early 60s. Yeah. When he passed away, he came here in 1900, and he was 60s, in the 60s. So he's 60 some years. He had never changed his appearance. He still looked the same with a bowler hat, a black
which
clothes,
I have upstairs.
everything. And Doug has the bowler hat.
You come on.
Yeah, he has the original hat.
It's really
Well
neat.
over 100
And he
years
used
old.
to order them from England, from Bradford, England. He's from Bradford, England.
That's where your name came from.
Yeah, the Bradford woolen mills in England was part of him.
That family.
Yeah, that family.
I did a sketch of the bowler in high school, of the bowler hat.
Yeah.
Did
I
you?
don't know where it is, but yeah,
upstairs.
I remember.
The sketches or the hat is?
The hat is
Hat is.
upstairs.
I don't know where the sketch went.
Yeah.
Don't know.
We've been joined by Sadie now. Hi, Sadie.
Hi.
This is your daughter.
Yeah, this is my daughter.
And
Sadie.
Sadie is also another descendant of Louise Bradford
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Louise a little bit. That was your
That
mother.
was my mother, yes.
So hang on. So Walter married
Walter married Sarah.
Sarah was from.
Sarah Miron
Oh.
from Garden River.
Sarah married a girl from
River.
Garden River.
That was the grandfather with the bowler hat. He
So-
married a girl from.
So you have First
The Garden
Nations.
River.
We
Your
do,
First
yeah,
Nations
yeah,
blood.
we do,
Yeah.
Ojibwe.
Ojibwe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Does anybody ever look? Has anybody looked into that heritage at all?
Yeah.
We
well,
have
my
it back.
mom has. Mom used to work at the Sault Ste. Marie Museum, so she's got all the information.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
guys are like an archive. We have to take a commercial. We're going to come back, and we're going to carry on where we left off with the next generation of Bradfords.
There you go.
Okay.
Walter's daughter, then Louise.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
We'll be back with more On Point as we figure out the history of the Bradford family. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now we've just discovered another link in the Bradford family chain, the Nolan family.
Yes.
With the Ted Nolan and that entire clan. You were related to them through your great grandmother.
Yes. Great grandmother.
What was her
Yes.
name?
Mary Jane Nolan.
Mary Jane Nolan.
Yes.
And they had property where?
Where City Hall sits right now.
Down on the waterfront.
Yeah, they were up right on Bay Street. In fact, we have a picture of them standing on the porch of their house, right up on Bay. And when she would want to put out a line of clothes,
Yeah.
she would go up to Sioux Falls and tell them to turn off their furnaces because she had a line of clothes on.
And she didn't want the soot from the
That's right.
furnaces of the Sioux Falls brewery
That's true.
to get her laundry dirty. And then when the
They're
laundry
all dry, she'd go up and say, "Okay, they're all out." I took them in and off the line, and they'd turn their furnaces back on.
So now that was the other side of the family then? Whose side of the
That
family was
was-
that?
That was.
That was my
Your great grandmother.
father's mother's mother.
Holy smokes.
Did I get that right?
I don't know.
Father's mom.
Sharon knows all this.
Yeah.
I don't
Sharon
know
knows all this.
My-
So anyway, now we finally get to where the point where Louise comes into the picture.
Mhm.
Wait, no, we didn't, because we didn't know who's Walter's son. Who did Walter marry? Wait, Walter had a son.
Walter married.
Walter married the lady from Blind
Sarah.
River. So,
Sarah.
No.
Mary, you don't even know your own family.
Walter married Sarah Miron.
And then they had the daughter named Louise. No.
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 They,
No, they had a
had a
son.
daughter.
No,
They had a daughter named Marie
Yes.
and
Yeah.
a brother and a son named Bill, which is our father.
Correct.
Our father, Bill.
Yeah.
Our father.
Yes.
And then Bill married Louise. I was trying to find
Bill
Louise
married
somewhere in
Louise.
here.
There we go. We're
Yeah.
good. We
I
got it.
finally got to Louise.
Yeah.
This is
Got
the
it.
one that I've been trying to get to.
Yeah.
So what did Bill do for a living? He was
Well, my dad was a pool shark. He worked for his father, and he was a pool shark.
Well, that makes total sense because
I was-
Walter owned a billiard parlor.
Absolutely, and we were all raised, 6 of us, on. He was a damn good pool player, thank God, because he
Is
raised
that how he
us
won his
all.
money?
Yeah, our living.
How did your Catholic grandfather feel about his son making his money
He,
gambling on pool?
I guess he forgave him or whatever, you know.
Okay,
Made
so
it work.
now Louise came from where?
Louise, my mother came from. She was born in Blind River.
Blind River.
Yeah.
Blind River. She was a Levasseur.
Okay, and then she ended up coming to school in Sault Ste. Marie. High school? Did she go to
yes,
high school here?
Yes, she did. She went to Tech.
She went to the
back.
Tech, which was then became, well, it was Lakeway, known as the
Yeah,
Tech,
Yeah.
which then became St. Mary's, which is now
Right.
the Tech again.
Yeah,
Right.
that's great. Wow.
Yeah, so she came here and
I saw
was-
the picture of her from high school,
Yeah.
1929, I think
yeah,
it says.
She was raised on London Street, close to.
Well, that's in my neighborhood too, close. I mean, that's down, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jesus.
And she was a great athlete as well as artist,
Yeah.
right?
I saw it was basketball, I think.
She
basketball?
Right?
played basketball. Yeah.
Wasn't she good in sports then?
She played hockey and lacrosse,
I didn't know that.
and she played basketball and
Wow.
probably softball,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
That
We're
was your
going back a
mom?
long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of the Bradfords, all those guys were all great artists and great athletes. All of those guys. Football, these guys are great.
Too
football
short for
players.
basketball, you.
Oh yeah.
Football, though.
Football,
I played
though. They did
football,
like
yeah.
football.
My father wanted to play football, but he was only, I think my father was about 12 years old because he'd skipped twice.
Yeah.
So when he was in
young.
grade 9, he was so little he had to be
Yeah.
the water boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
He
For
was
the
too
team.
young. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then he just went into law
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Smart move.
Well, yeah. Well, although those athletes these days are making pretty good money.
I guess so.
So now, can you make any money being an artist? Do you? Look at
Now
even
and
Sadie
then.
laughed at that one.
You know the story about the starving artist, eh?
What is it?
Well, no, I'm not going to tell it.
Is it dirty?
No.
All right.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
So Louise was. What did she? You sat. She sat around kitchen table. You
Yeah.
remember sitting around the kitchen table and watching her sketch? and
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
What did she draw? What did she like to draw? What kind of subject matter?
Figures, eh?
She did some scenery and
Yeah,
figures.
figures and stuff.
Mostly
like that.
figures.
And would you draw with her? Would you sit around and sketch too, or
I can't remember.
Can't remember. We were too young.
you were too young?
No.
When do you remember starting with art?
Well, when my mother used to sketch and paint, but when I went to high school,
Uh-huh.
Sault Collegiate,
Yeah.
there was
You
a
went there
teacher
too?
there,
Yeah.
Charles Carrington.
He was a wonderful.
He was the greatest art teacher, and he taught a lot of artists in this town.
Yes, he did.
Ken McDougall.
Ken Danby.
Yeah, Ken Danby.
Yeah.
Every
See,
notable
Carmichael.
artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Carmichael.
Bob Carmichael.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Think about the talent that came out of this city.
Oh,
that's
the
coming
city.
out of this.
It's
That's
true.
still.
Yeah.
you know.
The
It's
city
really
is
true. Sault Ste. Marie is a
loaded.
great art mecca.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is.
Plus, the musicians that come out of this city is amazing.
You guys
So
musicians
many-
too, aren't you?
A little bit, but not like the real good ones that come out of the city.
Right.
They're just great musicians.
We
Yeah.
are a very culturally diverse
Yeah.
community as
It's-
well.
it's
We're
a-
lucky.
Wonderful community.
I always say the number of musical theater performers as well.
Oh,
the
yes.
shows that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
they get
Yeah.
better and better and better.
Yeah, I
and
know.
better.
And my
That's
cousin
amazing.
Michelle, she did a lot of theater.
Yeah.
She was great. She was a great actress
Yeah.
and singer.
And you know about that too. You're
I
involved in all
you
that
know I
stuff.
yes I,
Hey,
I
you could listen
my
to 'em.
family's quite musical. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is about you. So we have to take another break. We're going to come back and talk some more with the Bradford family. Let's get to the next generation. So we've moved from Louise, who was an artist, and she's influenced you. You're at Collegiate, and we're going to carry on from there
Okay.
right after this message. Stay tuned. We are back with the Bradford family on this beautiful July day, and we're tell me again. Oh, somebody's painting just fell over.
Sorry.
So-
Acrylic. No stress.
Tell me about.
It's acrylic. It'll take.
That's
Is
right.
that,
Lots of it
is
is.
that an omen?
That's
Whose
right.
painting was it? Yours?
Mine.
Oh, okay. Another one bites the dust.
It's all right.
Is she like a flamenco dancer? That
Yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty smart, eh?
Yeah.
I know.
She's got a fan.
I'm your fan now.
It's a
Cindy hat.
It's a blowout sale.
That's right.
It's a blowout sale. Oh, that's a terrible pun. Doug, tell me about the contest Louise won when she was younger.
Well, from what I can remember, she entered a contest across Canada, a sketching contest. And as far as we know, or as far as I know, she came second
In the entire country.
in the entire country, and she had done a sketch of 3 nuns walking down the street.
Does anybody still have that one?
I have no idea.
No
All I
idea.
know it was, from what I heard, it was in the Globe and Mail or one of the newspapers.
Does the family still have any of Louise's work? Your mother's work?
There's a piece kicking around of
Yeah.
I can't find
the
it.
lady
I'd look.
holding the little puppy. It's a
Yeah.
pastel, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really nice piece. I like that one. Yeah.
And then was she was involved with the Algoma Art Society?
Yep.
Yeah, she was one of the early members of the Algoma Art Society, and she knew Ken McDougall's father very well, and he was very involved. He was one of the, I think he's the founding member of the Algoma Art Society, Ken McDougall's father. And
I didn't know was Ken's father an artist too?
yes,
I
Ken's
didn't know
father
that.
was a good artist.
Didn't know
Is
that.
He was a
Stuart?
good artist. Stuart
Stuart.
McDougall. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he was a wonderful artist, and Ken got his great talent from his dad.
Just like you got your great talent from your mom,
That's
and just
right.
like you got your great talent from
my dad.
from
And
your
my
dad.
uncle.
and your uncle.
Yeah.
It just keeps, and the list keeps going. Now, you guys have some great accomplishments yourselves. Tell me a little bit about the accolades you've received in your career there, Ken. Where's your work on display?
My work is on display. I've had it on display at many places. Toronto and Chicago. Had it in Chicago for a while, and
Yeah.
I've had a lot of one-man shows here, and I'm still painting in a few galleries, you know. And but I'm getting little
you taught at
slower.
Sault College, right?
I taught at Sault College for 23 years with
23
Ken.
years.
Yeah, with
Ken McDougall.
With Ken McDougall,
Yeah.
yeah. We
Right.
taught together and got involved with a lot of artists there. And we have, proud to say, a lot of our graduates are all over the place. They're in Los Angeles. They're in Toronto. They're all over the
From the
place.
Sault College program.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
walking down the street a few years ago, and there was one of my students walking down there.
Yeah,
You know, so it's kind of neat. Hey?
it is
They're
for
all-
sure.
We centered around the fine art programs as well as the advertising graphics,
Right.
computer graphics and animation and stuff like that.
And Doug, what about you? What is your art more of a hobby or career or both?
It's a hobby for me.
Hobby for you?
Yeah, I have had one-man art shows or in groups of artists and shows. And one of the proud things for me
Yes.
and Kenny and Attilio Francella is we have art in the War Museum in Ottawa.
You guys are Canadian Forces artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadian Forces artists.
Yeah.
Yes, and I might
Commission.
add that Ken McDougall is also
Is
in
he?
Yeah,
that
that's
group.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Ken is,
the Sioux is well represented
Yeah.
in the War Museum
In
in
the
Yeah.
War Museum in Ottawa.
You can go to Ottawa
Yeah.
and ask to see
Oh,
our
yeah.
paintings if they're not up, and they'll bring them out
No
for
kidding.
you.
Yeah.
They'll privately
That's
do it for you
quite
and
an-
everything.
And Dad, you did that memorial painting for.
Oh, the Korean War. No, I'm sorry. I did one for the Korean War, and
Yeah.
I did one
Uncle
of
Jared.
an Halifax bomber that went down in the Second World War.
Yeah.
And we were invited to go to the Netherlands, at Ten Boer, and
Are you kidding?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
unveiled in
It's a great
Ten
piece.
Boer in Europe.
Whoa!
Yeah,
And that was to honor the soldiers that
yeah.
perished in the
Six
crash.
of the crew members perished. One guy survived, and he was in the prison camp where the movie was made, The Great Escape,
Right.
with Steve McQueen, and he was in that prison camp. It's called Stalag 3 or something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
So and yeah, their work is everywhere. We're riding on their coattails. So
Yeah.
They're pretty
I
humble,
don't
these
think
guys,
so.
aren't
they are really. They don't say much about themselves, but their work really does speak for itself.
Now, Cindy, let's get to the next generation. All right.
Okay.
So, you're the next generation.
Yep.
You have how many siblings?
Older brother Sean
Mhm.
and a younger sister Sarah. She passed away a couple years ago, but so Sarah and I actually we did a lot of artwork. Sean didn't do a lot of artwork, but what I've noticed from all the cousins and siblings that are they don't do art, but they have a great knowledge of artwork, and they understand it. They know what's good, and they can talk to anybody about art.
Really?
So, yeah, it's awesome. Everybody's got it in some way.
And your middle name is Louise after
After Grandma.
the original
Yeah.
artist,
Got
Louise.
a couple cousins named Louise as well.
Well, your one cousin Louise
Right.
has published a book,
She's a
a
writer.
children's book,
Yep.
illustrated and wrote.
Yeah.
We have to go to. I think it's time for another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to pick up with your generation, and then we'll move into Sadie's generation.
Okay,
All right, and there's more to come on the Bradford family. It's almost like a Bradford family reunion, isn't it?
It
when you do
is.
these
It
kinds
is.
of art
Yeah.
shows.
That's what happened here, yeah.
Yeah.
What a wonderful reason to get
It
together
is.
to celebrate each other
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
each other's talents and gifts. And the love you all share. Okay, so we'll be back right after this. Stay with us on point. We are back now talking with Cindy Hatt, formerly Bradford. Cindy Bradford Hatt. And your daughter.
Sadie.
Hi, Sadie. Thanks for joining us again. What medium do you work in?
I have worked in oils before, but now primarily acrylic on canvas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sadie, you do sculpting as well, is that right? Or do you do sculpting or?
I do. I did. We lived in Arizona for a year, and I went to art school when I was there.
That must have been very cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. And
What was the name of the school?
New School for the Arts and Academics.
Wow.
In
It's like a
Tempe,
little mini
Arizona.
thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did they sing and dance in the cafeteria? Like they
In
do
the
in the movie?
They,
hallways?
the actors and the theater kids at my school, they would go down to California and perform with Disney, like at Disney World.
Neat.
Yeah.
And
that's
so the
cool.
art program there, was it all kinds of different mediums?
Yeah, they had like musicians and dancers and painters and sculptors and drawing.
Had you done any sculpting before you went to that school?
A little bit, and I also started doing ceramics when I was there, which was fun.
Oh.
I don't have any of my pieces here, but
Grandma's got some.
I do like on the wheel and stuff like that.
Like
Pottery.
pottery on
yeah.
the wheel? When I was little, I had one of those ones you could put batteries in and it would spin and you try to make
cool.
things.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
terrible. I was awful. I couldn't even make an ashtray. No.
It's hard to do.
Well, it was more like a frisbee. So, how long have you been practicing? What did you say? Practicing art? Do you? How
Yeah,
long have
sure.
you? How long have you been practicing art, Sadie?
I don't know.
How old are you now?
Since birth.
16.
16 since birth.
Yeah.
Who was the one you said was 9 months old? Started
That was Sadie.
Sadie.
Well,
Yeah.
even probably before that, she was drawing, coloring, and
There's
she'd
a
get
picture of me and my brother sitting at the table.
Your
and
brother's Kai.
Yeah, and I'm painting, and Kai's in the high chair, and Kai's looking at the camera, and I'm holding my paintbrush, looking really proud of myself, and my brother has paint all over his forehead. And
Painted your brother?
Yeah, and he's just like, hi. And I just painted him.
I don't think that's what it means when you
Yeah.
when you paint
She got tired of her canvas and she went over
a
and
living
Paint on
canvas.
pasted
him.
on her brother. Yeah.
Now, then your cousin Louise, the author.
Yep.
Does she have children who are in the arts as well?
She does, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Wait, and
Jacob,
whose daughter is Louise?
Uncle Kenny.
My daughter.
Kenny, your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jacob and Nicholas are both excellent artists.
Yeah.
They're terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick is an electrician.
Oh, he's the one who did the artwork on the table
Yeah.
with the fuses. He uses extra
Yeah,
parts
he
and stuff.
uses the leftover pieces from his work to create sculptures
And moving sculptures.
moving sculptures and lit sculptures
And he does like light fixtures too on like he has one and it's like a skateboard but it has like this glass piece in the middle.
Yep.
And it looks like a skull and it's really pretty.
yeah, it's very cool.
And what about Kai?
Kai is just kind of finding his way in the art world. He's done some paintings. He did the watercolor course with my dad
Yeah.
that my dad does once a month. So we came and did the course.
Yes.
And he's really good. He's just he's not great at sitting still for very long. So yeah.
That's the challenge.
yeah, for sure.
How long would you say that you spend working on your art?
Oh geez. Well, I wish I could spend more. I have my own business, so usually when the kids were smaller, I'd get them in bed and I'd start at around 10 o'clock at night, maybe go to midnight, do as much as I could,
Yeah.
and then here and there, and sometimes on the weekends. But my goal is to be like Dad and Uncle Kenny, where Dad works, you know, he does some yard work a couple days a week,
Yeah.
and then he paints the other days.
And a barber.
That's my dream.
And a barber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dream
Not
job.
anymore though.
Yeah.
You're a retired barber now,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long? How you were? Where was your barber shop?
I owned the Stag Barber Shop with
That was you.
Cliff Lydiard and myself. And we
How
worked
did I not
for
know that
years.
you owned the Stag?
Oh goodness, that was in the
You were on Queen Street.
Yeah.
early,
Yeah.
late 60s, early 70s, right to, I went to not high school, Sault College to teach hairstyling,
Yeah.
which I left there and went back to the business. And
I can remember that was okay. How you're not.
How old am I?
Yeah, how old are you?
48.
Okay, because I remember distinctly remember when the Stag opened.
oh yeah,
Oh, because it was you were hip.
yeah, we were.
Oh no, you don't even know they were hip.
But
Well,
now, and now all the barbershops today are trying
Hard to
to be
believe I
hip
was
like
hip.
how they were hip.
It's true though. I remember because it was the '70s and we were all and
Yeah.
you did modern hairstyles
yeah.
for men. I mean, it
Yeah.
was people were it was a different look.
Yeah.
Remember, there was no more wet look. It's the dry look in
Yeah,
the
oh,
'70s.
goodness,
Yeah,
I
remember
went through
that?
everything.
Sure
we
thing.
suffered
Men
that,
were getting
though.
perms. Did you ever do perms?
No.
No.
I remember some guys were getting perms in the '70s.
But
That
we
was a-
suffered as kids because we were lucky enough to get our hair cut by our dad. So
Huh.
it was free, of course. But
Yeah.
and then are you a boy or a girl? So
Yeah,
me and Sarah would get that all the time. We had perfect.
I still
haircuts,
get
though.
that.
yeah.
You laugh. Okay, we have to take one last break. We're going to come back and wrap things up with the Bradford family. I want to hear a little bit more from Sadie, and it'd be great if we could get your wife out here to tell some stories
Yes.
about.
Oh, goodness.
Do you think she'd
She
talk on
She
camera?
might not come out.
Yeah.
I'll ask her.
She says this has not been an easy life being the wife of an artist. So she's hiding inside. She's the agent. Is that what it is? She
I'd
gets
say-
10% of your commission.
Oh, she gets all of it.
Yeah. We'll be back with more On Point. Stay with us.
Should get her to tell a story about the rusty knife.
Oh my god, don't
No,
say
don't
that
say
on
that.
TV.
All right, we're back with the Bradford family in Doug, whose backyard? Ken's backyard.
No,
Doug's
Doug's
backyard.
backyard.
Can't-
Doug and
tell me,
Sharon.
by the time I leave here, I'll know which
You'll
one
know.
is which.
Yes.
Tell me about the Francella connection. How does that happen?
Attilio was married to our sister Marie.
Okay.
And Marie was just a fantastic artist. She was asked to draw for Walt Disney
Yeah,
Studios
she
when she
did.
was about 16 or 17.
Yeah,
Come on.
She worked for Walt
Yeah.
You
Disney.
didn't know
for
that?
a while.
She
Yeah.
did actually? You didn't know
Yeah.
that, Sadie?
No.
We're learning all kinds of stuff
Yeah,
here.
she
See,
worked for Walt Disney.
Yeah.
She
And
was-
T married our sister. And
T married, married
Attilio Francella.
Attilio
married.
married
our sister.
And yeah.
And he's a Canadian
Marie.
Forces
Yes.
artist too.
Yeah.
Attilio is.
Attilio, and you call him T. That's what
T.
your,
T,
yeah.
your
Yeah,
nickname for him,
yeah.
Attilio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Canadian Forces artist as well,
Yep.
Yeah.
and his children.
And his children are artists as well.
And this is what's hanging behind us right here,
So that-
Julie.
That's
Julie?
Julie's piece, yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Julie.
Julie.
Two Julie pieces, and Michelle is an excellent artist, and I think Aaron, their son Aaron too.
So there's Julie, Michelle,
Michelle.
and Aaron Francella,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
who are all following in the footsteps of Attilio and
His wife.
his late
And
wife,
then,
your sister,
Marie.
Yeah.
Marie.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just goes on
So
and
they have it
on.
on both sides, and then Aaron's children are putting work in the show as well.
Yeah.
Wait, how old are Aaron's children?
They're little. They're like 6 and 8.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
they're little guys. So they got some nice.
They
work
weren't
too.
even alive when the last one happened.
No, that's
7 years ago when you did the art show
Right, right.
with the Farmer Bob,
Yeah.
they weren't even around, and now here they are exhibiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
So we're
crazy?
down into the next.
How many
next
pieces are
group.
you going to have in, Sadie? Do you know how many? You couldn't bring everything, obviously. You guys traveled all the way from British Columbia.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
I don't know. I have 3 skateboards. There's 2 out here, and then a painting behind, and then 1 skateboard inside that I still need to finish.
Uh-huh.
I think.
And your
Do
mask.
people actually,
And
do
my
you
mask.
use that as a canvas, or do you expect people to actually skateboard on your art?
No.
No,
No.
it's just meant as a canvas. It's
Yeah.
really unique.
It's a great surface. It's fun. I like it. When I was in Arizona, I did the one of the plague doctor's mask. It was like an assignment. We had, they ordered us like skateboard blank decks, and we just got to paint on them, and it was really fun.
And then Nicholas gave you.
Yeah, Nick gave me one
To paint.
to
on.
paint on.
I guess it's really important also to have, you guys talked about was it Carrington?
Charles
Yes,
Cairns.
Charles.
It's important to have teachers that inspire you as well.
Yeah.
And now in Arizona, was that the case?
Yeah.
And what about back home in BC in Victoria? What do you have? Be nice. Your mother just. Is it difficult to find inspiration there? Or?
Well, like the school that I go to is really great. I love it, but I don't take art
Has a
there.
creative spirit at that.
Yeah,
school.
but like I don't take art there because the art teachers are not my favorite.
All
Then
right.
Huh.
In,
Well, they're not going to be watching this anyway.
No.
in Victoria,
Never
though,
know.
there's many artists in
Yeah,
Victoria.
Emily Carr went to my school.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
neato.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name is signed in the.
In the attic when you
You're
graduate,
kidding.
you get to sign, and so Emily Carr signed our
Wow.
attic, and I get to do that next year.
And what do you think for your future, Sadie? Do you see art as being a profession, or more like for your uncle? No, your
Grandpa.
grandfather.
and great uncle.
Well, you said it was more of a hobby for you. It seems to be a little bit more of a profession for you, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I've been
Career.
retired for quite some time now
Yeah.
from Sioux College.
Career,
so I,
yes.
I paint a
Do you
lot.
see art as being a career for yourself in the future, Sadie? Are you thinking along those lines yet?
Well, I think because I'm graduating high school this upcoming year, I think I'm gonna take a gap year, and then while we're here, I'm doing a tour of Sheridan College
Oh.
for the animation program, maybe.
Come on, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So
That's a great college.
yeah,
Yeah.
down in
everybody
Oakville.
everybody says it's they have like the top animating course.
Yes, it is.
In
Well, and you know what? I just actually. Oh, who did I interview? What was the guy's name? You can help me.
Kevin.
His name is Kevin
Kevin
Perry.
Perry.
Kevin Perry went to Sheridan. He didn't even get in for the first time. He had to take a general arts course and then stayed there. And he he works in stop motion photography.
Oh,
He worked
nice.
on that movie. What was it? That was the really
Kubo and the Two Strings, Box
Oh.
Trolls.
Box Trolls. Yeah, he
Oh,
went to
that's a great
Sheridan.
The short film that goes before the new Incredibles movie. The lady who made that one, she went to Sheridan as well.
Well, that would be
She's
great
from
for you. I wish
Toronto.
you the best.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. And you know what? Again, Bradford family, thanks for hosting us here today.
Thanks for coming.
Well, no,
Thank
and the
you.
history is
Thank you.
fabulous. And I guess
Thank you.
if people in Sault Ste. Marie want to know more about the Bradfords or work, is there somewhere in Sault Ste. Marie we can see your art? Anywhere in the Sioux?
Dad's house. Or
At Dad's
Uncle
house.
Kenny's house.
I think we need to talk to Yasmina
Yeah.
Jovanovic down at the art gallery and get some
Yeah,
Bradfords
I know,
down
yeah,
there.
right.
She'd probably be happy about that, you know.
Yeah.
I know Yasmina. We're
you
like
go.
this. So I could put in a call for you. Thanks for joining us on Point with the Bradford family. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your artwork, enjoy the show, and
Thank you
enjoy
so
each other's
much.
company.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
coming.
Bye for now.
Thank you.